I really want to explain to you guys how to use this as a tool to not only guide the eye of your audience, but to create more pleasing and cinematic videos, or just a better video overall, is using depth of field as a strong tool and an asset. The lower the f-stop is on the camera, the lower the number is of the aperture, the wider the aperture is. Let's say a 50 millimeter 1.2 is going to have a very, very shallow depth of field. So whatever's in front of the camera, if you're focused at what's 3 feet away from the lens, at a shallow depth of field, there's going to be a razor thin kind of plane of what goes in and out of focus. So right here at 3 feet will be in focus. Just in front of that will be out of focus. Just behind that will be out of focus. This is excellent for creating depth and guiding the eye of the audience. The background behind me right now is out of focus because I'm using a 2.8, a 24-70 at 2.8 to keep me in focus and the background out of focus, which guides the viewer's eye to me. There's no distractions. The other thing that I use, which we'll talk about when we get to lighting, is that I'm well exposed, but the background is much darker than I am and much more out of focus. So see, as a cinematographer, we're actively guiding the audience's eye to where we want to guide them. So on the other hand, if we want to have a wide depth of field and we don't want to guide the audience's eye and we want everything to be in focus in the image, maybe we're shooting landscape or a wide shot, or really want to capture the entire environment on a wide angle lens of a certain scenario, we would have a wide depth of field by bringing that f-stop up to 8.0, 9.0, 10.0, a number higher, much higher than its maximum f-stop, so that the whole image, the whole depth of the distance away from the lens itself is more into focus. Another reason we would want to use this is maybe we're shooting a subject with a lot of movement. We don't necessarily know how far or how close the objects of interest that we want to be in focus are going to come to and from the lens, right? Because on that shallow depth of field, there's just a razor thin field of view that stays in focus. So that's used for much more cinematic controlled situations when you want to guide the viewer's eye. And then a wider depth of field is when you want to have everything in focus so that you can see the whole environment as it is and let the viewer do what they want.